Good afternoon, Chandra ma'am.
Very good afternoon.
It's a pleasure to have you at the IKS podcast.
Hello. I feel the same. I'm very happy.
So, ma'am, we are here to discuss the role, the trait of Lord Krishna and his significance in today's to see how leadership aspects we can learn from him.
Okay.
So, ma'am, let's just first begin by seeing the qualities that he had.
Okay.
Now, ma'am, I would like to, have your opinion on upon the fact that he was, Lord Krishna is known for his compassion, for his kindness, for his simplicity. So, ma'am, will you tell me, is these qualities, being passionate, being kind, how important it is in the corporate world, ma'am?
So, just you're starting with the Indian honor system, I would take the flow from there. Why do we look at Lord Krishna as a leader? So, if you see at the tendency of the human, a man has always preferred to be led by someone. You see, every company, every organization needs. If you look at the dynamic time that we have today, every organization would need an anchor of the ship. So similarly, I think that is the reason why, we even had God, we had deities, because we wanted something who could lead us on which, and whom we could keep our faith. And even if you look at the modern time, we talk about Swami Vivekananda, we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, we talk about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, they rose to fame because the followers wanted, to be led by. Right. So if we talk about Indian mythology, the Indian ethos teach us that there are a lot of such examples in the form of our gods or deities who have taught us a lot of management lessons, a lot of leadership lessons. So if we talk about Shri Krishna, as you mentioned, Shri Krishna teaches us to be an amazing leader. So I think, as you said, the qualities of compassion, the qualities of being kind, they're much more to it. Lord Krishna had shown us all the qualities that I, discussed today with my students about how an ideal leader should be. If we talk from top to bottom, all those qualities are there in Lord Shri Krishna. For example, the first one I said, being kind. So being humble. Lord Krishna was knowing that he has all the powers. He was born with so many powers, but he was always humble to whoever he met. He was humble to gopis. He was humble to Sudama, who was his friend. And when he came back, at that time, Shri Krishna was the king of Dwarka. He was the lord of Dwarka. So when he came there, he even ate the rice which was brought by Sudama. So this shows the humbleness that Shri Krishna carried with whatsoever he makes. So this was one of the qualities. Other than that, if you see, there were a lot of other traits that he had. For example, he had compassion, as you mentioned, for everything that was there around. For example, he loved not only humans, he even loved animals. That we all know, traditionally known as Govind. Govind stands for someone who gives pleasure to the cows. He loved peacocks. He was loved by peacocks. He loved River Yamuna. He preached Giriraj Parvat, Govardhan Parvat. So in this way, he loved not only humans, he loved every form of life. He even loved the resources they were there around. So this shows kind of compassion and love that he carried for everyone. So I think Shri Krishna was an amazing relationship manager. Other than that, I think Shri Krishna had one very, very important leadership quality, and that was the quality of being a good communicator. So Shri Krishna spoke well, and a very important quality that leaders should have today is about listening. So Shri Krishna was also an amazing listener. You will not read that in the 18 chapters, if you're reading on Bhagavad Gita, one chapter, Shri Krishna was only reading Arjuna. So he gave Arjuna a chance to speak because he knew that if he will speak, he will be able to find solutions to his own problems. So he allowed someone else also to speak. So these are only few that I think I've mentioned about Lord Shri Krishna. It's much, much more to his personality. I think this is what we was.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you've highlighted a very important aspect. The fact that how important it is to be compassionate, be kind, and the fact that, amongst your students, you were citing an example of not any other leader, but Lord Krishna.
Absolutely.
Well, why, you tell me in your class, how, what kind of activities do you do with your students so that they get to learn this very concept of very trait of Lord Krishna and they can actually apply them?
So what I try to do is I try to blend their learning with, the examples of case studies. So for example, they're taught what are different styles of leadership. And then I ask them to relate to various DTs, to relate to various idols which are there. And if you talk about our written knowledge system, it is so very rich that you will be able to derive learning from every single, mythological idol that we have, from every person who has contributed from our Vedas, from our Upanishads. So everything in itself contributes. So I think it's more of case study learning for the students. They will realize that the scripture that they're following are not just a religious text. That's much more philosophical in nature.
It's nice learning.
Absolutely. If you talk about Bhagavad Gita, if you talk about Upanishads, people are mistaken. Those are not much aware are mistaken that these are religious texts. No, they are not. Bhagavad Gita is not a religious text. Upanishads are not a religious text. These texts are philosophical texts which tell us what is the way of living life.
Way of living life.
So that way I think students, this kind of learning for students even develops a kind of faith and respect for their own culture. They realize it is not just, going and praying God, it's much more beyond that.
Right. Absolutely, ma'am. And then you have cited some good examples that first, you teach them the leadership trait and then you tell them to apply it to different data. So then, is this a way, what do you see in today's youth? Is it religion or culture driven? Basically, today's late mind youngsters, they are talking.
See, if we talk about my perspective, I feel religion is always a personal choice. Right? So if a person in religion, he's driven by his religion, I think that is his own personal choice. And religion is always on a positive side. It's people who find out something negative out of it and, start interpreting it that way. But any religion, I don't mind any of the religions, and especially Hinduism, it teaches us so many good lessons. And religion gives you faith, religion gives you the strength to fight during your wrongs. You feel there is some supreme power who is taking care of you. So it gives you the energy, it gives you the positivity to fight bad times. So I think religion is always a personal choice, and if a person is following the religion, having the good environment, why? Because if we talk about Indian ethos and talk about IKEA that we're learning today, what had been the vision behind giving this? Because these things fully transfer from generation to generation. It's a culture. So it is a transfer. It transfers. If you're not giving it to the next generation, you're almost giving your culture at that very juncture.
Very true, man. Very true. Now then, when we are talking about Lord Krishna, we're talking about IKS. Now, IKS, according to you, ma'am, how is the initiative? Is it, and how important, what importance does it hold when it comes to learning leadership both?
Okay, so I have been teaching this concept. I have been teaching the application of Indian ethos and management since I think almost, it's going to be a decade in 2 years. So for almost 8 years I've been teaching it. And I realized that a person or the youth of today's, today's generation always tries to find that isse paida kya hai? Why do we learn this? So the Indian knowledge system is not just a theoretical text that you are imposed upon your family to learn. Right? You have to understand that it is much more to it.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think if you include it in the curriculum, maybe by the, the systematic learning approach that we have, and definitely all thanks to the new NEU which has come.
Right.
The people, जिनके parents को इतना idea नहीं है, जिनके family background में उनको इतना पता नहीं चलता है Indian culture के बारे में, Indian knowledge system के बारे में, at least through a proper academic curriculum, they're able to get into it. They're ready to know what our culture and how rich it is. It is such a big irony that today, maximum of today's generation is a pseudo-Indian.
Absolutely.
They're not grounded in the culture. So if you're not rooted, you cannot be strong.
Absolutely.
You have to be open, you have to be accepting all the cultures, you have to learn and appreciate everything. But then it's very important to be rooted. You should be aware about what is your group. And IKX is doing a very great work of making the students again get rooted to the culture to which they originally belong.
Absolutely. And then in your previous conversation, you mentioned the word fight back. Now, when we look at the three things here, there's leadership, there is fighting back, and there's Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna always had his own way of fighting back. He never fought in a very demonic way. He fought in a very sober, grounded way, he knew what the opponent's weaknesses. So, ma'am, could you elaborate on this?
So there are a lot of aspects to it when you talk about fighting back.
Right.
So Shri Krishna has given us a lot of strategies of how you're supposed to deal with such situations. One thing that Shri Krishna himself always requires that an leader should do, he always practiced what he preached. You know, if you want to be a good leader, if you want to be an ideal leader, अगर आप सिर्फ अपनी टीम को ये बोलो तुम्हें टाइम पे आना है, तुम्हें टाइम पे करना है, they will not do it. They will only do it if you are doing it. If you talk about a child will never say what you ask him to do. A child will always do what you are doing. So Shri Krishna himself practiced few things and he preached them. For example, he fought a lot of battles in his own life.
Right.
When he was born, he was separated from his own biological parents. Okay? From, his own parents, and on the very day of his birth. When he went to Vrindavan, Gokul, and there when he young Nanda and Yashoda, they raised him up and they were loving parents. He was separated from them and was separated from Gopis, the entire Vrindavan when he grew up in order to fulfill his responsibilities. But Shri Krishna never said here even a unport zone, man Bharas. Right? He fought, he came out, smilingly, he had amazing emotional intelligence. Shri Krishna had amazing emotional intelligence. Why? Because if you have ever seen Shri Krishna always he's smiling.
Absolutely, he is smiling.
So I think that's the best part of fighting any battle of life.
With a smile.
So Shri Krishna teaches us how you need to have emotional intelligence. This is one thing that really for this to teach you know. आज ही टाइम पे यार patient. आज के टाइम पे IQ भर के होगा लेकिन लोगों पे EQ नहीं है. They don't have an emotional strength. They don't have self-awareness. Shri Krishna was self-aware. Then Shri Krishna knew that he had a lot of powers, but he never imposed those powers on anyone. And he was a very devoted son. He was a loving child. जब भी वो गोपियों का माखन चुराते थे तो गोपियाँ कहती थी अब नाचते दिखाओ तो श्री कृष्ण नाच के दिखाते तब वो ये नहीं सोचते थे कि मैं क्यों नाचूं मैं तो राजा हूँ मैं तो भगवान. Shri Krishna was self-aware, but he knew that he was there on this earth to fulfill certain tasks. And he was self-aware, and I think that was the basic strength of Shri Krishna. That it. Fighting anything, you should be knowing what you yourself are. That was one thing. Second, Shri Krishna always allowed others to take the lead in his life. Okay, he was a crisis manager.
Right.
Like for example, he was a crisis manager. He told people about Devraj Indra. He said कि आप इंद्र की पूजा क्यों करते? You should be actually worshipping Govardhan Pad, because Govardhan Pad was the one who was actually giving the rains, was giving the harvest, was giving the grass to the cattle to go and to eat. So actually, Govardhan Pad was actually fulfilling everything that the entire village wanted. So that instead of worshipping Devraj Indra, you should be worshipping them. लेकिन जब उस वजह से as what our mythology tells us, that जब श्री इंद्र जब देखते उन्हें जब गुस्सा आया उनकी क्रोध की वजह से जब उन्होंने बहुत वर्षा की, at that time, despite him being a 7-year-old child, he lifted Govardhan Parvat on his small finger for 7 long days and saved the entire thing. So he was a crisis manager. Right? So and he always allowed people to fight their own battle. Whenever you will be in crisis, you will not be having any other option there. He was a charioteer to Arjuna. And see, if he would have wanted, he would have finished Mahabharata in one go, in a fraction second. But he didn't do it. He was a charioteer. Hey, he said, I will be there. You go wherever you fight the battle. But when he realized that Arjuna has given up, Arjuna is not ready to fight the battle because the people who are standing in front of him are his own, family. And so at that time, Shri showed him his Virat Swarup, as you don't know, and gave him Gita. He was a crisis man.
What's the okay that? Man, talking to you has been so enlightening. So many life perspectives we have got to know here. And been very enriching. Thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure. I can't get a point. Thank you.